So the head strength coach for the San Francisco Giants was interviewing him, and he gave him a textbook answer, and the strength coach was laughing at him. It wasn't being disrespectful. He was giving the right answers, but they weren't the right answers based on what he had learned through his master's degree at a highly reputable university. I mean, hell, UPMC, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, is world renowned. I mean, Freddie Fu was the father of ACL surgeries. So it's not like it's a bad department, but it wasn't relevant to what's actually happening in the real world. So from a gym teacher standpoint, there are times and budgets are getting cut. Kids are getting forced to sit in chairs all day long, despite the study showing, the MRI showing brain activation after a kid goes out and exercises. I mean, let's pump them with ADD meds, sit them in a chair, don't let them move, force them to sit there and shove stuff down his throat so he can meet chest scores.
It's sort of funny. It seems like, everybody knows that there's this correlation. Like, physical activity goes down, and we keep taking it away, ADD seems to be on the rise.
Absolutely.
But we're going further away instead of meeting back.
Medicating.
Yeah.
And the kids aren't getting that activity at home because other kids don't want to play. Actually, their free time. I mean, with our business, we're fighting to get that kid's free time, to improve them, to give them what their over-gamed annual game schedule. I don't know the proper terminology way to put that. Kids are playing way too many damn games. They're playing year-round games. I don't care if your kid's playing 3 sports or 5 sports. They're playing games year-round. You don't get better playing games. You get better by practice. You teach fundamentals through practice. In the greats, I just read a great interview with J.J. Watt. I mean, the guy puts the time in. He's a hell of a guy, man. And he's putting the time in and he practices. It's the fundamentals. Even Kobe Bryant said that he learned his fundamentals by playing basketball in Italy. Yeah. Fundamentals, not games. We go to open gyms and we're gaming. Why don't we learn some fundamentals? Oh wait, that's not fun.
Well,
you don't get a trophy with fun.
I was actually talking to one of my fiance's former softball coaches at college, and she said that now the recruits that are coming in, they can't handle the college softball atmosphere because where they're used to 5 games to 1 practice in college, it's like 5 to 10 practices to 1 game.
Especially in preseason.
Also with that, not everybody plays.
So little Gina isn't getting her 4 innings.
So now people feel left out.
Yeah.
And not to sound negative, but that's part of sports. Like, if you talk to like the top pro guys, some of them know where their place is.
Yep.
Their place might
they have
be
roles.
Yeah.
Even
if it's the 8th, 9th, whatever guy.
Here's a good story about that. I got to go to baseball because of the levels. So if you're the best player, if you're a pitcher, the best player you're facing is the 3rd and 4th batter on the other team. You go to college, everybody was all state. So the 3rd and 4th hitter is all conference in college. Your 9th hitter was all state somewhere, at least all section, all region. You go to single A baseball, everybody was all conference. It was the 3rd and 4th hitter. And the 8th hitter's not going anywhere. It's the 3rd and 4th hitter that's going somewhere. And then it's that perpetual ladder the whole way through. That's why it's that hard to make it, because everybody's good. They're all good.
Dave Tate of Elite FTS just said something. I just watched an interview with him about that. He said, you know what?
I didn't see that.
80 to 90% of the professional athletes, they're professional athletes. You can't coach it, you can't train it, you can't. That's what it is.
But there's a lot of people in the minor leagues and in college that have the skill set but mentally don't have it. Look at the Heisman Trophy winners. How many of them? I mean, Vince Young and Matt Leinart they were Heisman Trophy winners, national championship winners, and I think MVPs at the national championship. They dominated. They were men amongst boys, little boys. And they go to the pros and it flops. I mean, that's how hard it is to make it and survive at that level. And that's how close it is. Everybody's talented. J.J. Watt outworks everybody, but he's also extremely gifted, both in size and athletic ability, and that's the end result. There's an article that was written on T Nation about everybody. Bodybuilding isn't for everybody. Well, that's true. I mean, if you've got to have the right body structure God blessed you with genetics or he didn't. I mean, you can't pick your parents. So either you have good body structure or you don't. I mean, you have a huge reach. Right. You're never going to be a professional bodybuilder. I mean, it's hard to put muscle on arms that are like monkey arms, okay? It's just the way that it is. It's not a tall man's game, so to speak.
Right.
You know, bench pressing, if you have long arm, it's just the way that it is. You should be in the NBA.
Well, with that Dave Tate thing, going back to that, the funny thing was, like the other side of it, he's like, now, if some kid tells me he wants to be a professional athlete, who am I to say, no, you're a loser, get out of here. And it got me thinking, like, man, when I started Showtime Strength and Performance, like, I didn't have, you know, the cream of the crop, so to speak. But, like, now, like, looking back, like, some of the kids I've been training, like, but it just goes back, like, they worked. Yeah. They wanted to put the time in. And are they the ones getting P1 full rides? No, but are they better than where they were? But I think in today's society, being better isn't always rewarded or seen as good.
Yeah, because, well, I completely agree. In the sports that I have a big imprint on are soccer, ice hockey, baseball. I have 11 athletes that are or have played at top 50 schools. Right now I have a kid at Bowdoin, who's number 6, West Point it's 8, and Haverford it's 15. 2 of those 3 are Division 3 sports, but they're top 15 schools. In the United States, it's $60,000+ a year. A lot of Division 3 schools, like Denison's and whatnot, that's hard to justify spending $45,000 a year, but when you're going to a school at that level, you know, top 5, top 10, you're going to have a hell of a job. You know, that's playing full boat. Now, if you're an athlete, you can get a half of an academic ride or financial aid. Oh, why not? And that's what I think that what gives me a lot of pride. You see the flags hanging up of athletes that have used sports to, and I call it, go to a school that's above your academic pay grade. You know, if you're a B+ student, you can get into a school that you need an A or an A- to get into. If you're an athlete, you're good enough. That's not making C- to get, you know, into Harvard, okay? But to use sports to benefit them in that way, it's a life changer. And don't have school loans. I got school loans. I played 2 sports in college, and I have school loans. That sucks. I don't want that, right? And to them, I can't stress that enough. But it's hard to find that extra time to put in because of the constant game schedule, and they still want to be kids.
Yeah.
Which I get. Be a kid.
I had a girl, actually, sometimes I think even me and you get wrapped up in training and don't think about it. And I actually had a girl, I was like, hey, are you coming in on XYZ today? She's like, no. And I was like, well, why not? She's like, I'm going to be a teenager.
She told you, I fight with my kids all the time.
It set me back. I'm like, yes. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, do that.
I still fight with them because they think you want to be a Division I athlete. You want one of those coveted spots. I mean, hell, in ice hockey, I ran the numbers. I spoke at St. Clifford's ice hockey camp. It's a pretty big regional camp here in the area for goalies. And I broke the numbers down. In North America, for major A junior, there's like 80 spots. That's it. From age 16 to age 20. Maybe 21, depending on the league. 80 spots. There's 58 Division I hockey teams, 2 goalies a team. That's it. So it's there, and you're fighting for that spot. And because you figure that's 18 years old to like 24 years old in college. Because some guys will go play for the U.S. program and go as true freshmen, but a lot of freshmen are 21 years old. Right. And they're vying for those spots. And you get a kid that doesn't want to come in and train 2-3 hours a week. It's your summer. You didn't work. Like I get kids that work 40 hours and come in 5 days a week and put in 10 hours with me. Versus kids that come from a lot of money, that they put a car under their ass and aren't working, don't want to put the time in. That's the kids I just go nuts on. Like, nuts because they want to do it. They're great kids. They just don't see it.
It's like the one Malcolm Gladwell book, I'm drawing a blank right now, where he talks about how the ones who are always handed everything, and everything's always there, aren't always the ones who you hear about. because the other ones had to work to
Absolutely.
get to the top.
And it sucks. But I mean, the fact of the matter is what is going to separate you? Like, I control what you can control. If I can get stronger and that's going to help me, and I have the ability to have a resource to get me stronger and faster within a limit, I'm not going to take a kid from a 4.8 to a 4.2. That's not possible. But if I can go from a 4.8 to a 4.55 or 4.6 by putting time in and investing it, I mean, I just scratch my head to people that don't want to do that. Because that's the way I think, that's the way I'm programmed, that's why we do what we do, right? That's why strength coaches are libertarians.
Yeah.
You know, we earn it, stay out of my life, let me earn it, let me work, and earn my spot. And there's a lot of frustration there. And I get into, I'm fighting for off-season time. You know, I'm not trying to, my hockey players aren't doing a ton in the summer. There's not a lot of demand on them, and that's when I get on them about it. And it's a constant fight.
Well, Scott, if people want to reach you, how can they get a hold of you?
My website's umbergerperformance.com. I don't post all the gems there. I post a lot of the gems on our Facebook page. A lot of the stuff that I read and through my pretty smart, great network of people I stay in touch with, post some really amazing stuff. I'll share it on there. I think in the last 2 or 3 days I've posted some pretty good stuff, including that J.J. Watt article. I mean, every kid should read that. It's pretty awesome. So through the Facebook page is where all the cool stuff is typically posted.
And anybody who has any questions for Scott, I would definitely recommend getting a hold of him. He's one of the first people I talked to when I opened Showtime Strength and Performance. And anytime I got a question about sprinting or conditioning, he's my go-to guy. So
After lifting weights, I'm not going to get lifting weight questions.
he's too weak. He's too weak to ask about lifting. So, thanks. I'm Nick Showman with Showtime Strength and Performance. www.showtimestrength.com. Cut it back.